What is happening? What in the world? What am I doing right now? I don't know what this is. This is weird. Something weird is going on. I don't I don't know. I'm just gonna try it and wing it and see what happens. This is wacko. Whatever. So I'm a little burnt right now inside. I didn't read. This is making me nervous. What's new? I didn't read yesterday from my special book, What I Know for Sure, Oprah. I had a weird day yesterday. I woke up in one state, and the weather is super intense with me right now, and we watched Bohemian Rhapsody last night, and I sort of had a breakdown, and I did. And I kind of had to just cry myself to sleep, because that has to happen sometimes. You know, your life is going to be very hard. And then today, I woke up, again, the weather, and feeling just so like when does it, And then something kicked in as I woke up over some time. And then it's been pretty explosive since then. And I know what I'm about to read, whatever it is going to be very relevant. So so I'm going to just do that. This is insanely amazing. And it hurts as much as it is. It's just incredibly, at the deepest cellular level, inspiring. I mean, it's a lot. So I just need to read a little bit, and God, came to the 323 to find my daddy, and I want to say something about that. That seems really random. Kristen Bell, you know what I'm talking about, the boat and the dad mission. A papa for me is very different from a dad. They have different meanings for me. So, and I go on record about maybe came to the 323 through my daddy to find my papa kind of journey, and it's been relentless. Oh my God. I'm gonna find some things in here right now that are gonna just blow my mind, aren't I? Okay, here we go. Where we left off last time. Talking with thousands of people over the years has shown me that there's one desire we all share. We want to feel valued. Whether you're a mother in Topeka or a businesswoman in Philadelphia, each of us at our core longs to be loved, needed, understood, affirmed, to have intimate connections that leave us feeling more alive and human. I once filmed a show in which I interviewed 7 men of different ages and backgrounds, all of whom had one thing in common: they had cheated on their wives. It was one of the most interesting, candid conversations I've ever had, and a huge aha moment for me. I realized that the yearning to feel heard, needed, and important is so strong in all of us that we seek that validation in whatever form we can get it. For a lot of people, men and women, having an affair is an affirmation that I'm really okay. One of the men I interviewed, who'd been married 18 years and thought he had a moral code that would withstand flirtatious temptations, said about his mistress, there wasn't anything special about her. But she listened, was interested, and made me feel special. That's the key, I thought. We all want to feel like we matter to somebody. As a girl growing up, shuffled between Mississippi, Nashville, and Milwaukee. Oh, I didn't feel loved. I thought I could make people approve of me by becoming an achiever. Oh, God. Then in my 20s, I based my worth on whether a man would love me. I remember once even throwing a boyfriend's keys down the toilet to keep him from walking out on me. It was no different from a physically abused woman. I wasn't getting slapped upside the head every night, but because my wings were clipped, I couldn't soar. I had so much going for me, but without a man, I thought I was nothing. Not until years later did I understand that the love and approval I craved could not be found outside myself. What I know for sure is that a lack of intimacy is not distance from someone else, it is disregard for yourself. It's true that we all need the kind of relationships that enrich and sustain us. But it's also true that if you're looking for someone to heal and complete you, to shush that voice inside you that has always whispered you're not worth anything, you're wasting your time. Why? Because if you don't already know that you have worth, there's nothing your friends, your family, or your mate can say that will completely convince you of that. The Creator has given you full responsibility for your life, and with that responsibility comes an amazing privilege. Wow. The power to give yourself the love, affection, and intimacy you may not have received as a child. You are the one best mother, father, sister, friend, cousin, and lover you will ever have. Right now, you're one choice away from seeing yourself as someone whose life has inherent significance. So choose to see it that way. You don't have to spend one more second focusing on a past deprived of the affirmation you should have gotten from your parents. Yes, you did deserve that love, but it's up to you now to bestow it upon yourself and move forward. Stop waiting for your husband to say, "I appreciate you." Your kids to tell you what a great mother you are. A man to whisk you away and marry you. Or your best friend to assure you. Your best friend to assure you that you're worth a darn. Look inward. The loving begins with you. Page 54. I don't know if I can keep doing this right now. I have so much of a response to this. Just maybe let's read page 55. The key to any relationship, yes, is communication. And I've always thought that communication is like a dance. One person takes a step forward, the other takes a step back. It's like birth. That's me interjecting. One person takes a step forward and the other takes a step back. Even a single misstep can land both people on the floor in a tangle of confusion. And when you find yourself in that position with your spouse, your colleague, your friend, your child, I found that the best option is always to ask the other person, what do you really want here? At first, you might notice a little squirming, a lot of throat clearing, maybe some silence. But if you stay quiet long enough to get the real answer, I guarantee it will be some variation of the following. I want to know that you value me. Extend a hand of connection and understanding. And offer 3 of the most important words any of us can ever receive. I hear you. I know for sure your relationship will be better for it. My body is such an insane, at this point in my life, my soul or spirit, that part of our what we are, spiritual beings living a human life, is so fused with my body that this is such a I'm having just such a powerful response to all of it. All of this, all of everything, and it's a lot. And I read this, I'm just first of all moved to just moved, period. No. And then the thing that's so mystifying to me about all of it is like how one extreme or one school of thought, let's say, truly followed through will lead to the other side of that same notion. So yes, I've taken myself into my own hands over these years and worked on my own sense of value, worth, inspired by what I know of love and what I've come to know of love over the years. And I have been my biggest champion when that's been essential. And somehow the thing about it is femininity. And it leads me back to dependence in the best way, where by being my own builder of self-worth, I've realized that I can accept that same, depth of connection and love and affirmation of worth from a man to whisk you away and marry you. My soul is not separate from other people, and it's certainly not separate at all from certain other people, and I've had at times to work with the separation, but not separate from, and that's an amazing juxtaposition and paradox. I think maybe the best way to say it in the end is by loving that man. Loving my children, loving my parents, loving my soulmates. By loving others, I've learned to love myself. And allow myself to be whisked away and married. in full. And I'm not separate from that marriage. Like, just not. I'm just not. I never will be, never have been. No matter how I have to work with it at what time. And this is agonizing work a lot of the time. It's just super hard. And with so much gratitude. Maybe sometimes self-worth just comes from like knowing that it's okay to love yourself as you are, and that's not a maybe, and we both all know that. It does. And sometimes we're just deeply connected to that which we need most. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what is with the when and the how am I recording this? I'll figure this shit out. This is still a battle, this whole working against societal judgment, by the way. You know? It's stressful. I'm not having an easy time. There's a lot of judgment on what makes a good person and what a moral code is, and my heart is in a different rhythmic pattern than those imposed ideals, and this is still a thing on the nervous system, and magical and hard. I had to stop this. I just like don't know what I just did.